and welcome back, everybody. My name is Chad. Welcome back. I missed you so much. I'm a little sunburned, and you'll find out here in a second. But first, let's start it off the same way I always do. We're going to talk about what I learned, and then we'll be talking about what I did and how I used what I learned. Because this isn't anarchy. There's structure here. There's method. You think all this just happens? You think I just pick sitting in the doorway to talk to you people? No. This is optimized right here. Anyways, let's get into what I was talking about. So this week was Golden Week. Golden Week is like a week-long holiday, which I don't know whose idea that was, but that's a terrible idea. All the grocery stores were like sold out of everything because people are trying to get stuff before everything closes. It's like a freaking hazard getting around. It's like there's tornadoes coming through, but the same thing at school. The school's now out, not just for the weekend, but we had Friday off, and we'll be off all the way until Thursday. So we kind of crammed really hard. In the Genki books, I went to... I should say, first off, my chapter 16 through 18 test, passed it. Yeah! I don't know how, I don't know why, but I got a 71%. And fun story, so I never pass tests. I'm a super bad test taker. I ran down the stairs during a little 5-minute in-between class break we had, and I told Yuki, who's one of the... I don't know what they call them. She's not like a teacher, she works in the office down there. But I ended up going down there and going, you wouldn't believe it, I got the best score I've ever gotten on a test. And she's like, really? What did you get? And I was like, I got a 71. And she goes, a 71? And to her, that's, I'm sure to most people, that's probably so you passed, basically. I was a percent away from failing, which, hey, that's the best I could have ever hoped for. But it should show you how very little they think of me here. They like me, but I know me. I'm a pretty sucky learner, so. But anyways, so I passed those two. This week, we only had school for 4 days, and we went through chapter 19. We went through chapter 20, and we actually started on chapter 21. So I'll buzz through this real quick, what we learned. Now, I will preface this. I'm going to start making a little pile of all the handouts and tests they give us, because they give us so much. And I think over time, I'll end up with a stack bigger than all these books and stuff. There's so much paper, but I'm not doing that today. I'm too lazy and too tired from yesterday. So first off, we went through all the vocab in 19 and 20 and half of that for 21. So in 4 days, we were supposed to have learned math somewhere between 100 and 150 words, which I've already studied all these, so it wasn't that hard for me. Also this week, we skipped Keigo, which is also why we went through so much in such a short time, because the Keigo, I believe they finish the book and then go back to formal speech. So we skipped the humble expressions and the extra modest stuff and whatever. But we did Naide, which is doing something without doing something else. And then we did questions with longer sentences, which is having a sentence with a question already, a question sentence already inside of it. We did number 5, which was name, and then calling an object by a name that someone might not know, so use to-you for that. And then we also did, yasui and ikui for something a verb being difficult or easy. There's a lot of Aiko sensei references in that chapter for me. Then we went to passive sentences. Passive sentences, they're kind of like a bad feeling. It's hard to explain, so it doesn't translate really well into English, but basically you take a verb, but using this form make it seem like it's troublesome or bothersome to the listener. So there'd be, in Japanese, it would translate the same, but there'd be a difference between my friend introduced me to his friends, and my friend introduced me to his friends, and it made me feel not good, it made me feel bad, it made me feel burdensome, blah blah blah. There's an intonation difference. That's the passive form. So that was fun. And then really quickly we went through te kurete arigato, which is thanking them for helping you with an action giving to you. And then we did te yukata desu, which is it's being glad that such and such a thing is the case. It's weird to explain. Being happy you have a sister, you would use this sort of thing. Or being happy you brought your umbrella to school when it rained, that would be the tense that you would use with this. And then hazu desu, which is super easy. It's just a thing you add at the end of a sentence for it is supposed to be the case. Super cut and dry. It felt like we went through a lot of this, but it's just because we skipped a lot of the polite speech stuff. So we skipped 3 or 4 chapters. Then when it comes to kanji, I got to Heisig number 325. It technically should be 340 for me, but we didn't have school on Friday, and I I told myself I'm taking the weekends and holidays for myself. I'm not studying. And so I stopped at 325. I don't know how much that is from last week. It's probably around like 60 or 55 or something like that. But we're making progress. That's where the bookmark is, and that's how much we have left of the book and how much I've already done. So I'll take that as a positive. And class-wise, this week was pretty good. Obviously there are some days where I was just like spitting dribble, and some days I felt really good. There was one day in particular that was bad, and I need to preface this. We had a new kid come into class. He finished all the way through the books, and he's been at Genki for a while and been back in Japan for longer than everyone in my class has been. And for some reason, because he had to skip Keigo too like we did, but they set him back into our class, which we started the week in chapter 19, so he basically went back for 4 weeks worth of schooling. And it was kind of rough because when we were trying to learn something and we weren't understanding it, the time that the teacher would normally take to like slow down and like break down what's happening in Japanese, he would answer her questions correctly before we got a chance to do it wrong, which I know sounds bad, but that's how she figures out if we're like learning or not. And they just kept moving and kept moving and kept moving. And whenever I'm still trying to like write down how this stuff works and not figuring it out, we kept moving and kept moving. And then during the breaks in between, when I would try to ask questions, the teacher would talk to the guy the whole time. So I didn't really have a chance to talk to her that much. The one chance I did, the break ended too quickly. And so we had to talk after school. And so I had to stay like 20 minutes after class, in class, just trying to figure out what's happening. And it didn't help me at all. So I would have much appreciated that class time. And I'm going to, say this up front, not his fault. He's paying for school. He has every right to practice all the hard and, review as much as he wants. Like, this is not a problem with him. It's a problem I had with the school. And I was really frustrated with the school because of it, because there's no reason they should have sent him back 4 levels. We weren't studying Keigo, even though we were in the chapters that was in, so I don't know why they put him in there. My guess was maybe they thought we were going to, I don't know, but it was frustrating and disheartening, and I heard from a friend that went out to lunch with him the next day, because me and him are friends, like, we're good. It's not ill feelings towards him. It's ill feelings towards the school because they really jacked that day up for me because I did not learn anything. And if we go back through that chapter, I probably won't understand that thing that I had the problem with, which is frustrating. I'm paying to be here, like, I should learn, and if he's paying to be here, put him in a level that he's, appropriate to learn at. That's, in theory, I think what you guys should do. And it's not like, oh, well, he's the only one, so we can't move him up, because my class, a lot of the time, only has 2 people in it. Me, and then one other long-term student. So, like, there's no reason why you couldn't just put him in his own class. I don't know, it's just, Genki's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like, it's not perfect. I've had plenty of frustrating experiences with them. But I keep coming back because even if it's frustrating, they usually, I don't think they'll ever watch this, but if they do, they usually take it with heart and try to, like, fix the problem. They're not this, like, faceless, nameless corporation. Like, it's, Evan's little baby, so they take pretty good care of their students. And I could have gone to the office and, like, talked to them about it, but I was just so freaking frustrated. I ended up running out and I had to make a video and had to come back and upload it, and it was just I wasn't really in the mood to like do that. And then the next day when I was going to do that, he wasn't in class. My guess is they either moved him up or he's just ditching because he knows it's as ridiculous as I do. So I don't know where that's leaving off. We'll find out on Thursday, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for the best because I do like Genki, and this isn't meant to like tear them down or whatever. This was just one of those things that they probably could have done better. Also, I started like translating songs again, so every day is like a part of my regular practice when I stay after school. I am writing and only for me, I'm not using transcripts or anything. I'm trying to write exactly what I hear in different songs that my friend Yukiko that works at the Tower Records at Hakata Station gives me. And it's going really well. You could see progress from like my first ones that have a whole bunch of hearing mistakes to now I'm getting a lot less mistakes, but there's still mistakes there. So it's cool because I think if I do this for the whole year, it'll just progressively get better, I'm hoping. Which means that my translations will be more accurate, which also means when I'm done, this whole Gudetama notebook should be completely full of songs that I can do lyric videos for you guys for. So that'll be coming in the distant future. And big thanks to her because she's awesome and is a lot nicer with her corrections than some other people I've had corrected, so yeah. What else happened? Oh, so I went to I stayed after school so long. My class got out at 1 and I stayed till like 5 studying. And I got out and then I went downstairs and my friend Paul was down there, which Paul's one of those few people I can talk to in Japanese and not like get self-conscious and screw up, so I really like talking to him. But he was downstairs. I met him my first time at Genki, and he's back in Fukuoka here working now. And he goes, you're not, I was about to leave, and he goes, you're not staying for Journey's English? And I was like, well, technically I don't have anything I need to do today, so yeah, well, let's do it. And I had a lot of fun with that. I pretty much only used English. I found out that at these Journey's language exchanges, for me, I just pretty much only use English. I figured these people are like paying to be there, and they're paying to practice English, the same reason I'm paying to practice Japanese at Genki, so I'm fine with like using English there. My hope is that, being at this Journeys, being at these things, I'll get to use a little bit of Japanese, but my hope is I can make friends and connections and, when we're outside of Journeys, that they'll let me practice Japanese more. That's kind of my hope. So I'm not really assuming when I go to these things, I'm gonna be using a ton of Japanese. I use a little bit, like when they're not understanding something, but, what can you do? Oh, and I almost forgot about this. So I got asked a little bit ago by, I don't know what you call him, the director, the founder, the head honcho, Duncan, of Journeys. They want me to help them make a video about what Journeys is and what it's like your first day. And so I'm going to probably use pieces of that in some of my videos to show you guys. But yeah, I get to this is my first official film job. It's not like a job. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm doing it because I like Duncan, I like Journeys, I want to help. But it's still cool to know that someone sees what I do and goes, hey, help. It makes me feel like I'm not just in my doorway talking to a camera. But yeah, after that Journeys thing, we ended up going to, so we finished Journeys and everyone's like, hey, let's all go to a club, let's all go drinking. I don't drink at all. I'm, I guess, straight edge. We ended up going to this, it was a basement. I've never seen it before. And you walk down this flight of stairs into a basement, you go down there, and what it is, it's a stage set up like a band stage, like a live music show. I don't know if they ever have live music there, but what they have is this giant screen, and they play concerts on it. And they have, on the wall, they have all these different video concerts, live concerts of bands. And I think that's such a cool idea to, you can go to a bar, and I don't know if this is how it works, I assume it is. You can pay to pick a concert, and you can sit there and eat and drink and whatever else you're gonna do to a video of a live concert. Again, even there I use mostly English, so not a huge loss. I got to know a lot of people, so it was fun. But I didn't come to Japan to speak English, so I may or may not go out again. We'll see. Alrighty, that's it for part 1, you guys. I'm gonna split this into 2 parts. I'll upload them consecutively. If you guys liked the video, be sure to like it down below. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, be sure to tell me in the comments down below. I will talk to you, I promise. That's 90% of the reason I still do this channel is because I like hanging out with you guys. So talk to me, let's start a conversation. If you guys like this video, be sure to check out this series. Every Saturday I do video or videos about my week as a Japanese language student. It is fun, it is fascinating, it is, what's another F word, frequent? Fascist? It's a lot of F's. It sounds like my test scores. But yeah, if that sounds like something you guys would like, or if you would like videos every Wednesday just on Japan, Japanese culture, Japanese traveling, I do those as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel down below. There'll also be an annotation at the end of this video. That's about it for this part. I will see you guys in part 2. See you there.